Welcome to the Math Record. Today I'll be covering the ICTM Regional 2018 Division AA Algebra 2. In this contest, I'll only be covering questions 7 and 17. As usual, I'll scroll down every single 20. And that's all 20 questions. I'll get the answers in the end. Okay, let's start with number 7. So the distance between two lines is 2x minus 3y plus 1, and 3y minus 2x is equal to 5. When simplified in radical form, in this form, basically, then find k plus w plus p. So when we have two lines, and we got to make sure if it's intersecting, the distance is 0, and if it's parallel, we could just use a really simple formula. So let's write our equation. So that's 2x minus 3y plus 1. And then we have 3y minus 2x equals 5. So I'm going to multiply this equation by -1 and move 5 to the other side. So that's going to make 2x minus 3y. And then that's going to be -5 plus a 5. -5 times a -1, which means plus 5. So so this equation is just the same thing as the second equation. I just put them all into one place. Now we notice that the 2 are the same and the -3 are the same. So the coefficients in front of the x and y are the same. So all we had to do is use the formula, basically c minus d absolute value divided by the square root of a squared plus b squared, or something like that. So basically c and d, those are the numbers here. So 1 minus 5 is -4, absolute value, put a 4. So they just want the positive difference between those two. And then a squared plus b squared, a and b are just the coefficients in front of the x and y's. So it's going to be a 2 and a -3. So 2 squared is 4 and 3 squared is 9. So 4 plus 9 is 13. So square root 13. So our distance is 4 square root 13 over 13. Add all these three numbers together. So that's 26 plus 4 equals 30. And that's your answer for number 7. So it's just that easy. You just need to know the formula. Okay, now question 17. Mn with m is greater than n is a solution to the system 1 over m plus 1 over n equals -4, and 1 over m to the power 3 plus n to the power 3 equals -316. Determine the sum m plus n. Okay, so we know that 1 over m plus 1 over n is equal to -4, and we know that 1 over m cubed plus 1 over n cubed is equal to -316. Okay, -316. So let's write 1 over m cubed plus 1 over n cubed into this form. So we can have 1 plus m plus 1 over n. And then to make it cubed, we just need to cube it. So if you expand this out, this will be 1 over m cubed plus 3 over m squared n plus 3 over n squared plus 1 over n cubed. So we have these two terms, which is basically this. So then, so we just need to get rid of this term. So we had to minus a, look at the LCM. There's a 3 on top, and then the m and an n on the bottom, and that would just be 1 over m plus 1 over n. Right? So I just wrote this term in this form, and then I just need to look for these terms. So we need to take away these terms, which is equal to this. And I just simplified to that so that we could get that kind of form. Okay? And we know that is equal to -316. Okay, so now let's plug in some of our numbers. So we know we could plug in -4 in here. So -4 cubed, that's 1664. So -64 minus a 3 over mn times 1 plus m plus 1 over n, that's also -4. So plug in a -4 is equal to -316. So then that gives us that -64 plus 12 over mn is equal to -316. So then we'll just use our calculator. So -316 plus 64, and then 12 divided by that number, and we get m times n is equal to -1 over 21. Okay, so we got that number. So how do we get m plus n? Well, let's look at this equation now. So what we could do is we could simplify it. So that's m plus n over mn, right? I just simplified the left side, and that's equal to -4. And we know m plus n right here. We could just plug it in. So that will give us m plus n is equal to -4 times m times n, which is just 4 over 21. And that is your answer for number 17. So you don't even have to look for m or n individually. You just put them into parts. And as promised, these are all the answers for the 20 questions. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next math record.